Hello. How's it going, people? Welcome back to the first stream of 2025 and Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Hopefully, the weekend, weekend to be honest, it's vacation in a way. The Christmas and holidays and everything has been kind to you, had time to relax, chill, and everything. So, hope you had a great time, spent with family, friends, loved ones, and everything. Hope you'll have some good things in the future planned for this year specifically, because surely everyone has something in plan for this year. But yeah, some things never stop. Obviously, Arsenal played yesterday against Brentford, went 1-0 down, and then I thought it will be like we're gonna lose this first game in a way, but no, ultimately we did the job. We're gonna talk about that, obviously. January 2nd, transfer window is wide open, and yeah, Arsenal already have been linked with about 55,000 players, so we're definitely gonna discuss that. We're gonna tackle the game, obviously, some transfer rumors, to discuss a few bits and bobs here or there, but ultimately, of course, if you're new around here, subscribe, like it, share it around, leave your thoughts down in the live chat, and of course, let's do this. Big up Nathan in the chat, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Big up my guy, big up the chat, big up Marlon as well, big up Happy New Year. Yeah, Ethan was fantastic yesterday, not gonna lie. Ethan was fantastic yesterday, and arguably, I know it could be a bit reactionary, but so far the way he has played compared to Martinelli at right wing, Ethan should be starting at right wing. Ethan basically was what we were missing as an Arsenal team on wings in general. Directness, always in motion, always attacking, never on back foot, always on front foot and everything. So that is definitely something that we were missing. Too early for that, but let's move. Martinelli did good, yeah. Martinelli has been quite awful for the whole season, but yesterday he actually was very decent. The performance was very decent, very good. If he can build on that, improve on that, and get better, definitely nobody will complain about him as much as they do now, because he's on like what, 170, 180 grand a week. So it is a bit of a question mark there, because he doesn't perform as for the amount he would be get paid, and everything doesn't contribute enough in that regard. Yeah, and Odegaard, yeah, god awful. He, to be honest, has been woeful for quite some time. It's not just 1, 2, 3 games. It's months. It's not even games. It's months, literally. And he was coming back from injury. He hasn't had a very good game overall. He had some decent performances, but nothing too exciting. And before injury as well, he was very questionable. He has, I think, 2 assists overall. He's our creative spark, and he has only 2 assists. And Saka has 10 assists, right, in our team in Premier League. Next best assister in the team is Declan Rice with 3. Like, Odegaard is on 2, if I'm not mistaken. So that tells you everything you need to know, to be honest. Even Merino has gone better than Odegaard. This I can't be, damn god, it's crazy being Odegaard. Odegaard is generally not it. Merino yesterday was an interesting one. He was interesting enough. He was better than before, but still there is much more left to be desired. Let's just put it that way. Odegaard, it's a disgrace, the performances he has put in for almost about 4 months, I would say. Since coming back from injury overall, he's been genuinely questionable. Even before that, he was questionable. And to think that he's our captain even, that's even more embarrassing. He has 1 or 2 goals this season, I think, and that is also solely because he got a pity penalty, and that's about it. Martinelli more goals than Salah this year. Arsenal are invincible this year, so far. Let's put it even that way, you know. Jesus has scored. Yeah, he has actually scored. Maybe he can start scoring. The issue with this is, if this happens just like last year, it happened with Havertz towards the second part of the season, we won't sign another striker again. And that will genuinely piss me off. So we need, I don't want to say I don't want Jesus to stop scoring. I just want Arsenal to sign a striker despite them scoring. That would be the case. Atalanta resting players versus Inter. Imagine Arsenal trying that. Imagine Arsenal trying to rest, let's just say, 4 or 5 best players even against Brighton next game we have in 2 days. Tomorrow? No, in 2 days. Imagine that even if we tried. Do you think we could pull it off? No, we couldn't. Hey, I was saying as well, Nwaneri would be decent. I was one of those who said that Nwaneri should be starting while Odegaard was out. Arteta didn't want to do it. Well, he started, but let's put it that way. He wasn't spectacular. He was very, very, very good. There are some things he should have done better. Obviously, there are things he needs to improve on. But so far, from all the players this season we have seen on the right wing, whether it has been a cup game, Premier League game, substitute for Saka, or whatever, he has been the best one. Genuinely, besides Saka. He has been the best one. The issue, though, with all of this is we don't have another scoring, assisting outlet besides Bukayo Saka, because Saka always produces something out of nothing. He can have a stinker of a game, but still he somehow gets the GA every single game. Besides Saka, we don't have another player to do that in his absence. And that is, I think, ultimately, that will be the biggest downfall for us. That could be the biggest downfall for us. That is the case. Odegaard with several shit performs lately. It's actually kind of embarrassing how bad Odegaard has been. And to think that he's our captain as well, that's mad. Kabia, that's Maldini, no? That's Kabia Maldini, no? Or am I tripping? Is it Janko Trossard? No, Ishmael Kabia, that's the good guy. He's the winger. He's the young winger Arsenal have. Plays for under 21s in Premier League too. He's the youngster. That's the Kabia. Yeah. He's the youngster. I got him confused with Maldini. He's the youngster. He's actually somewhat decent, actually. Don't tell me, bro, is gonna keep a 19-year-old academy striker over buying them. Dude, could be the case. Could be the case. Ethan was good, but he didn't stretch their defense enough. But he did good. Not gonna criticize a kid playing in the position. True, but Nwaneri looks decent when he plays number 10 or at right wing. And to think, just think about this. Nwaneri, when he has played, overall has done more than all of our left wingers combined. And if you take out Saka out of equation, pretty much, he has done more than our left winger and right wingers combined, rest of them. He's been the most efficient one as well as it sounds. And arguably in the number 10 spot, he has created something a bit more than even Odegaard. Has been more dangerous, because Odegaard, he couldn't score, I don't know, in a brothel. Genuinely, Odegaard is that bad so far. Olmo, we're gonna speak on him in a second. And I heard that we are signing Evan Ferguson on loan. We're gonna speak on that as well. We're gonna speak on Ferguson as well. So Mori could be available, but looks like he might be going to Juventus though. That also could be the case. What's up with Timber? And well, Timber got a yellow yesterday, so he's missing Brighton. The issue with that is, Partey arguably was man of the match yesterday. Top performance, fantastic performance, especially in the second half. And Partey, Nwaneri, and Jesus for me were the top three. Maybe you can include Timber in that equation as well, despite the yellow. But Partey was arguably the best performer yesterday out on the pitch, right? And he has had this type of performance. And next game he's gonna play right back, because we don't have anyone else we can play there. And that is a big issue, because he cannot get a consistent run of games. And then we're gonna have Partey against Mitoma or Adingra, however Brighton are gonna set their team up. It's gonna be dangerous, no matter how you look at it. Although we thought that the same thing about Luis Diaz, and that worked well for us. But I was at Emirates though, so that's a bit of a difference. Olmo as a left 8 with Merino and bench Trosh. Olmo as a 10 and Merino as a left 8 would be quite interesting to see. I wouldn't mind seeing Olmo even as a right wing, would be very interesting, because technically he can play there. Timber suspended, that means Nathan Partey at right back. Oh, dude, that's the thing. That is the biggest thing. If Partey plays right back, no Saka, no problem. Just wait till we play the big teams. Then we can talk. Let's see how we do against Newcastle. Let's see how we do against, well, who else we have big? Technically Spurs, but that's Spurs, so we don't count them. That's useless, pretty much. Chicken nuggets. None of those. So United are shit anyway, so technically only Newcastle. Although you cannot sleep on Brighton, you cannot sleep on those teams. Let's go to Mori as usual center back. Apparently Skriniar is already in talks with Galatasaray to go to Galatasaray and loan, with potential buy option as well, apparently. So that is also the case. Calafiori as well. Yesterday wasn't the best of games. Again, he was questionable at many times. And that brings me the big question. Why Miles Lewis-Skelly didn't start yesterday? Maybe he's gonna start on Friday, on Saturday I think, or maybe not, who knows. But ultimately, the way I see this, our academy graduate who just got promoted is better than our 45 million, well, marquee signing this summer, technically, if you want to call it. And he is actually better than all of the left backs we have in the team, maybe besides Tierney, ultimately. Yeah, basically, that's what's the case. So basically, and we're not gonna sign a striker as well if Jesus keeps banging goals. That actually could be the case. Bro has no first team experience. He didn't even come on for Jesus. Zinchenko came out. It's wild. I wouldn't be against Tomori. That would be very interesting to see how he would fit in, though. Party masterclass, yeah. With Party's extension, I would be very cautious because there are talks that maybe Barcelona want to sign him on as a free, so that could be a bit of a lure for him. For Party, I would give him a 1 year plus 1 year option. I wouldn't even give him a 2-year deal because the age, injuries are still a massive worry for me personally. So I would generally just give him a year plus option on 1 extra year. If that would be the case, if we come to an end of the year and he potentially could be available. West Ham, Newcastle and Spurs looking at Tomori. Yeah. So realistically, if he goes to Newcastle, that could be a massive signing for them, genuinely. If I was Tomori and I had to choose between these three teams, by the way, West Ham, Newcastle and Spurs, I would go to Newcastle without shadow of a doubt. Sign him up. Well, and Tomiyasu. Yeah, Tomiyasu, where is he? Still waiting on him. I know if Havertz didn't have flu, he would... Yeah, that's the case. That could be the case. And to be honest, I must say, without Havertz in the team, we look much more fluid, much more dangerous, much more free-flowing in the attack. I'm not gonna lie. We are more direct at times. We are quicker with passing the ball, distributing, giving it off, playing triangles and everything. With Havertz, it all feels very slow and really lethargic in general. Havertz got sick. Maybe it was a blessing in disguise. Was Raya or Calafiori at fault for the goal? I would say a bit of both. Maybe Raya should have gone there, but maybe the attacker gave Raya the wrong eyes and sent him the other direction. Maybe. Calafiori definitely could have done better. I think it's on multiple instances. Calafiori was too far, should have closed him up more. Obviously, but shooting between the legs, it's a bit of a tricky one in general to defend. Raya maybe got caught off guard a bit on the corner. But who knows? Genuinely, who knows in that regard? But I guess it is what it is. Although I must admit that Raya made one insane save as well when he just cleared it off the line, and about 1 minute later instantly scored the goal as well. I would say both of them. Raya should have saved that and has yeah, Raya has actually saved us yesterday as well with that one off the line. That is the biggest issue. No matter how we look at it, we have no bench. Genuinely, we have no bench, and that is the biggest issue for Arsenal at the moment. Even with if we have Havertz on the bench, it looks like we have no bench pretty much. It's the same thing. Swap Tomiyasu for Lamptey. But very first half yeah, that's the thing. It's not the first game where in the recent times, by the way, last month or so, where we have the first half shockingly awful and the second half we play them off the park more or less. It's not the first one. And against certain teams it's gonna work, but if we play like this against Newcastle and teams like that, they're gonna turn us over easy. No sauce, no ketchup, no spices, no nothing. They're gonna turn us over very easily. Bro, and who the heck? Marquinhos still waiting. He's back, isn't he, from Fluminense? Still waiting on him. He's the Saka replacement, no? That bench, yeah, that bench yesterday. Just look at this: Zinchenko, Trossard, Jorginho, Skelly, Tierney, Kivior, Neto, Kabia. The worst part is Declan Rice didn't start the game because he was injured. Why the hell did he get subbed on then? Like, on a serious note. If he was injured, why the hell did he get subbed on then? Well, technically, he has played there under Pep as a 9. He did that. That's when Jesus went to his hotel room crying and called his mom and said he wants out of City. As an actual striker was on the bench even though it was 19-year-old Kill who had no... To be fair, given the team we had, we could have even subbed Trossard as a number 9. We could have even done that. Kabia technically is a winger, so could have tried him out there. Or we could have just switched the formation, ultimately. The biggest question is, why did we even play? What minute did Timber get the yellow card, by the way? What minute Timber got the yellow card? Calafiori, Norgard. Timber got the yellow card in 17th minute. That's dumb. Genuinely dumb by him. The other question is, everyone knows that Thomas Partey is going to play right back next game. Why did he stay on for almost full 90 though? Why did he stay on for full 90 almost? Well, he stayed on for full 90. Why did he do that then? If he is gonna play right back next game in 3 days, well 2 days from now on, why the hell would you play him for the full 90? Like, that is for me the biggest question, especially if we are 3-1 up. That is the big question. Zinchenko, number 10, should have switched the damn... Exactly, should have changed the damn formation. Yeah, are we gonna talk about all this right now? We're gonna talk about all of this right now. And there is gonna be lots. Legit, I have news starting from December 30th. So basically, since I haven't been haven't been live. And here's the first one with Mundo Deportivo. Barcelona is very interested in Thomas Partey as they look to compensate for the possible departure of Frankie de Jong. Apparently Frankie de Jong has a gentleman's agreement or something like that with Barcelona that he stays there for this season, but next summer he is gone 100%. Since they have this tango dance all the time for the last few years about the money, Barcelona released some rumors just to try and squeeze him out of the team and everything. So who knows, but they are trying to sign maybe Thomas Partey. Who knows? Given their financial issues, who knows who they can sign? Maybe they cannot even sign a cheese string they couldn't sign to their team. In other news, Arsenal have won the trophy of 2024. Most points won in 2024 season. Most goals scored in 2024 season. In year 2024, sorry. And least goals conceded in 2024, year 2024. What a trophy for Arsenal. What a trophy for Arsenal. Damn embarrassing. When on paper this sounds good, but just like Declan Rice said, winning games is cool, but if you mean nothing, if you don't win anything at the end of the season, it means nothing. You can win, you have the most points. Most points means you have won actually something. But in this spectrum, actually, it means nothing. You have the most points in 2024. You have the most goals scored in 2024. You have the least goals conceded in 2024 in Premier League. But ultimately, you won fuck all. It means genuinely nothing. I might as well had the second most points, scored the 5th most goals, conceded the 3rd least goals, yet I have trophies. Much rather would have that. That's genuinely a big whoop. Who the hell cares? AFTV pissed me off with their Hendrick post. Dude, don't even start. Is the same thing? Yeah. Goulet is not coming. He already said that, Ancelotti. Yeah, exactly. Big whoop. But no damn trophies. Declan Rice said it perfectly. Winning games is great, but ultimately at the end of the season you don't win nothing. It means nothing as well at the end of the season. No domestic cup though, even that, bro. Carabao Cup is the easiest cup to win, you would argue. And we cannot even win that. We are now in semifinals. Let's see how we do there. There were some rumors, apparently, that Arsenal are on multiple Premier League clubs who are tracking the progress of Joe Bellingham. Personal terms aren't expected to be an issue with the Englishman, and the clubs who have inquired have been informed of a fee. Of course, random rumor, because no fee reported, no nothing, just Sam C, as always, talking some random stuff. Anyhow, according to Sun Football, the most reliable source in the world, Alexander Isak is prepared to reject Arsenal and stay at Newcastle if they qualify for Champions League next season. I'm not gonna say this, but genuinely it instantly sounds like they have agreed upon already. It's like the way this statement has been proposed in a way makes you believe that Isak is prepared to reject Arsenal and stay at Newcastle if they qualify for the Champions League next season. So that means if Newcastle doesn't get Champions League, Isak is prepared to accept Arsenal instantly. It kind of feels that way. Obviously, it's Sun football. It's like the fish eyes from the Spain or Portugal, wherever they are from. Biggest yellow page stories ever, but hey ho, we roll with the flow. We talk about these random stuff just to sometimes have a decent laugh about these things, because let's be real, when you're paying, you laugh in a way. And Arsenal are hurting me every single time we don't sign anyone in the transfer window, so here it goes. Liverpool won the damn EFL and they won the trophy. Exactly. Can Bellingham play striker? Well, Jude maybe, although he's not that great as well. He's overhyped in my opinion, but it is what it is. Heard we were signing Joe Winter. Yeah, next year. 150 million for Isak now. Newcastle freaking tripping. Isak has scored in almost every game. That's the thing. Isak recently has hit very good form. So his value is just going up and up. Basically, if you want, you have to pay at the end of the day. And this is the best statement, because this kind of means there cannot be any excuses for not signing any decent players. Money isn't an issue for Arsenal this January, and the club are well within profit and, well, basically PSR rules at the end of the day. The only constraints on spending will be by the Gunners' own means. So basically, Arteta doesn't want him, we don't get him. Arteta doesn't want anyone, we don't get anyone. That, at the end of the day, it is what it's gonna be. If Arteta wants to sign, I don't know who. I don't know. I don't even know who Arteta could want to sign. I don't know, Jose Perez from Mexican League, he's gonna sign him. Genuinely. Sign them all. If money isn't actually an issue, then go and sign, for fuck's sake, an attacker, striker, midfielder, sign them all. If there is no PSR issues, especially. Gordon's still the one, bring me Trincao. Exactly, that's the biggest thing. Why we are not going after some damn players now? We have to splash the cash. Exactly. If money isn't an issue right now, right? How comes we are not already properly linked in or put in a bid for some sort of a player? Because since September we got told, especially when Edu left, Eto is gonna take Edu's place. They already have transfer plan for January worked out. Everything is ready for the motions and everything is done and dusted. They have their targets prepared and everything. Now we hear that money isn't an issue. So where the hell are these signings? It's January 2nd. January 2nd. Yes, it was New Year's last night. I get it. I totally get it. But you played last night. You won 3-1. Happy chappy. But you need to sign players. You genuinely need to sign players right now. And ideally, you need to sign players in the first, I would say, 10 days of January. Because if you want to implement them in the team, for Champions League, for Premier League, for Cups, for anything, you need them to be proper ones. And on top of that, ideally, they would be from Premier League. So you can shut up with your excuses. Oh, he needs to adjust to the league. Oh, give him time. Oh, he needs to adjust to the players, teams, everything. Sign proper players for Premier League. Why don't we do this any more properly? Jesus, well, he was a great signing until he got injured and Arteta rushed him back from after the surgery from the World Cup and then ruined him because he needed 2 more surgeries. But Zinchenko, Rice, we overpaid massively, but I'm not complaining because not my money at the end of the day. But ultimately, that's about it. We don't sign, well, technically Trossard as well. But the biggest question is, what if we signed Trossard if he hadn't gone butted heads with, for example, with the Zerbi? What if we signed him? Because that was straight after we failed to sign Mudryk, when Edu mistakenly flew to Ukraine instead of Poland, because whilst Edu was apparently in Ukraine, right? Apparently Chelsea's, Bowley's people were in Poland, and somehow Mudryk signs for them in there. So apparently they were in Poland, not in Ukraine. So basically Edu flew to the wrong country. So that was fun. But ultimately, yeah, it's a weird one. But if money isn't an issue, I don't want to hear any excuses from top Gunners, from Arsenal, and no loans for someone like Kim Kallstrom, not sign another Kiviors, like 10 Kiviors for the team. I want proper signings, no excuses. Though, don't start this. Where will Nwaneri fit in this? Wait. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Nwaneri. Give me a sec. I'm looking for one thing about Nwaneri. Nwaneri. I cannot find this now. This is very weird. Give me a sec. Basically, don't put the extra strength on Nwaneri. Genuinely, just go and sign proper players. We need competition. Ultimately, Nwaneri is never gonna be a competition for Saka until Saka is here. Because he needs game time to grow. Unless you buy a somewhat established player, I don't think Nwaneri is gonna get there. But he can be a challenge for Odegaard 100%. And should be a challenge for Odegaard for sure. So, that is the case. Trincao, yes, where will Nwaneri fit in this? Nwaneri will fit wherever he fits in. Because ultimately, this is not Nwaneri FC at the end of the day. We need to sign players. This is also not basically Odegaard FC or Arteta FC at the end of the day. Yet it's been built like and it's moving like it's Arteta FC at the end of the day. Arteta gets say into everything basically. Like that is genuinely just embarrassing. Exactly. And we loan Goulart. We are not going loaning Goulart. Again, we are not. Ancelotti said he wants him at Real Madrid, so the loan is not happening. Should we risk it? Dude, you can loan one in, loan one out. Like, you need quality of the bench. Nobody's guaranteed minutes. Why people are so obsessed, in a way, with one player? Just put him in. Yes, I want Nwaneri to play. Yes, I want him to get minutes. But when there's opportunity, is Nwaneri the player who's gonna carry Arsenal over the line in the second part of the season? Who's gonna carry us to try and challenge against Liverpool in the big games? I don't know, ultimately. But I need options, so I don't have to guess these things. And again, putting all the pressure on a 17-year-old, again, it seems stupid enough as it is. Jamal is 17, he's been overplayed by Barcelona and Spain over the top. He's getting injuries left, right, and center. Now we're saying the same thing with Bukayo Saka. Now we are putting in another Fabregas type of situation. Not the same, but in a way, when you put a 17-year-old, say you're gonna replace our star player, I hope you can do this. That's it. And ultimately sink or swim. And then if he starts playing well, all the pressure will be on him. I don't want that. For a change, I don't want that. I want proper backups, proper competitions, and stop glazing this Nwaneri. This is not Nwaneri FC. This is not... We are playing like we are Saka FC. But ultimately, this is not Saka FC. Saka is not undroppable. Odegaard should not be undroppable. Saliba should not be undroppable as well, if something comes up. But everyone treats, as soon as you call these things out, oh, it's the end of the world, you are a hater, go support Spurs, you are a dumbass, you are an idiot and everything, you hate Arsenal. No, I don't. I just want competition, and I just want players to have some accountability. Because ultimately, at the moment, there is no accountability in this team by anyone. Buemo would be interesting, though. So you're saying destroy us because it happened with Chelsea when they bench Hudson. It's January 2nd, I already have to deal with stuff like this. I'm not saying that. You know we can loan people out as well for a change. We don't do that too often, but we need to do this. We need to do this. We need to sign proper attackers. You cannot have cake and eat it too. We all are screaming sign wingers, sign attackers. But then as soon as you say, we're gonna sign Trincao, oh, but what it does do to Nwaneri, what's gonna happen with Nwaneri? Pick or choose. Because ultimately it means you either sign no one, or you sign someone. At the end of the day. You cannot have these things. And ultimately Nwaneri will get his chances. And if he doesn't get game time, loan him out as well. It's not like he stands above everything. Nwaneri won some award, I saw. No idea. Genuinely no idea. Arteta installing him in the midfield, he ain't playing without. That's the biggest issue as well. Bench Odegaard for a change. Exactly. Odegaard, for example, make Odegaard hold bench for a change. Real heavily linked to Malen. Yeah, I read that today. Daniel Malen is linked with Villa. Ex-Arsenal player as well. Daniel Malen used to be Arsenal system as well. Yes, the best developing young player Nwaneri won. Yeah. If it ain't Saka FC, it's Arsenal FC, but without Saka. That's the biggest issue. We are Arsenal FC, but the way we play is that we are Saka FC. We are pretty much, as you are saying, 90% of the time relying him in our attack. Name me another team who does that. Whose other attacking options cannot pick up the slack. Another team. Because Barcelona doesn't rely on Yamal solely. You could arguably, Liverpool doesn't do the same thing. They can live without Salah if he goes out for a week or two. They have the attack good enough. Chelsea, well, that's a different story. They just lost to Tractor Boys 2-0, so it's a bit different one. They'll outscored against them. But ultimately, no big team cannot win relying solely on one player. It just doesn't work like that. No way Liverpool are Salah. They are not. For me, Liverpool are not Salah FC. Because look, if you compare, you could say, yeah, 75% of their GA. But ultimately, if you take out Saka from Arsenal's team, who's gonna score for you on consistent basis? Like, would you say Havertz is gonna bag? Jesus is gonna consistently bag? Martinelli is gonna bag? Sterling is gonna bag? Or Trossard is consistently gonna bag? Yes, Salah is in a great form at Liverpool. But if you take out Liverpool, I have more confidence in their attack, like Elliott, Diaz, Gakpo, Jota, all of them, even Nunez to some extent. I have bigger confidence in them that they gonna score than our attack that we have Havertz, Donkeys, and all them, man. That's the point I'm trying to make. Our attack without Saka is basically non-existent. Liverpool lose quite a bit without Salah in the attack, yet they have the tools actually to create an attack more. They have those tools. Arsenal, not as much. Not as much. And if you are allowing this one game against Brentford to gaslight you in a way that it's gonna work, it's not. Because the first half showed that it cannot actually work. It's Arsenal and we have signed. Well, we signed Trossard in January. Because Mudryk deal fell through. But we signed Aubameyang in January. Who else did we sign in January? Just thinking on top of my head. We signed someone else. 100% we signed someone else. We signed more players. Would you take... Yes, I would. I'm not gonna lie. If money is an issue, I actually would take that gamble on Marmoush. Because it's somewhere here. Here it is. According to Give Me Sport, Arsenal lead the race to sign Eintracht's Marmoush amid interest from Liverpool, PSG and AC Milan. Yet some other articles are stating that Liverpool and PSG are only ones in the race for Marmoush. So basically, as always, take that with some pinch of salt and just roll with it and think what you will, basically, at the end of the day. We signed defenders. Under Arteta, that is the case. Definitely. Arsenal signing an attacker in January is like asking when God is coming. Well, to be honest, we've signed some attackers in January, but it's not that often. Didn't Liverpool sign Diaz as well in January? Or something like that. Liverpool tend to do sometimes their best business in January, signing Van Dijk and Denman, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Without Salah, most of the teams Liverpool get good. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Their attack is more possible. Yes, Salah possesses insane amount of threat, but for Arsenal it's a bit different. We are both in Salah and Saka FC. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying the fact that without Saka, we look much worse. We cannot survive in a way without Saka long term. Like, if Saka is out till the end of the year, well, this season basically, we cannot survive with that. Especially knowing how Arsenal do transfer business and doesn't sign anyone. Liverpool, if they don't sign anyone, they can survive without Salah. Yes, they won't win the league. They won't be blitzing teams, but they will be always a threat. I don't trust this Arsenal team to be such a threat. In general. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Fuck Liverpool anyways. In that regard. Because genuinely I could argue about this for ages. Genuinely for ages. Because for me, Liverpool are dependent on Salah. But Arsenal are dependent on Saka at the end of the day. But Arsenal cannot survive without Saka long term. Liverpool could survive without Salah long term. That is the thing. I don't get me started on Chelsea though, they're also so-called goal. The Palmer can get in the bin. That's the thing. I need more attack power in the team. And for me, Liverpool has that. Arsenal don't. Chelsea fans want brand new attackers now again. They got gaslit by conference. Basically. Scoring 50 goals against Noah FC doesn't do it for them anymore, I guess. But yeah. I've seen that. I've genuinely seen that. But yeah, it's not looking that great. Anyways, we were talking about these things. Here we go. According to Sam Mogbil, Arsenal want a central midfielder, a replacement for Saka, a new center forward. While these things are planned for the summer, the club aims to sign a wide forward in January. Like, I hate this. I genuinely hate this. Sign a proper player or GTFO at the end of the day. You sign proper players in necessary positions, not plan for the summer. You're playing right now. Because for me, if you don't win anything this season, or just finish top 4, it's gonna be hell on earth. Some heads will roll at the end of the day. They have to. Emmanuel Petit at the end of the day also has spoken on Martinelli. He spoke on him before Brentford game. This was before Brentford game. Petit is frustrated with Martinelli. I've been waiting for some Arsenal players to reach a level, and I'm quite frustrated, to be honest, actually. I'm still waiting for them to reach the next level. I'm thinking about Martinelli, for example. I'm not happy with Martinelli. He had a good game against Palace a few days ago. That's not good enough. When you look at his journey and how he started in the first team around the same time as Saka, when you look at how Saka has improved year after year and has become one of the best players in the Premier League, I'm thinking, when is it gonna happen to Martinelli? And that is also the case. That is the biggest question. Because 22-23 season, the way we were playing, it looked like Martinelli could be massive for us. But Arteta changed the system, which totally has ruined him at the end of the day. It has ruined him, and obviously Martinelli with his injuries and loss of confidence hasn't helped himself as well. We done one more. Exactly, one more reject, exactly. Wide forward, okay, Chenko is someone I think we can get. I hope we can get someone better, though. I would love to get someone better. Like Premier League proven, ideally, to be honest. Oh, we have taken Williams, Zinchenko, Jesus, Havertz, and that's just right now. We are not counting from the olden days. The other players like freaking my arm. Did you see when knocks the ball? Martinelli, yeah, in a nutshell. Give me some from Bournemouth Forest. Prem proven Buemo is the only attainable. You think only in Buemo is attainable? Because I kind of don't like the thing when you kind of categorize that nobody is not obtainable. Because let's be real, if we pay the right money, everyone's obtainable. Because let's just say we go for Gordon, right? Newcastle won't just say they don't want to sell him. Arsenal drop, let's just say 80 million on the table. You think Newcastle would reject that at the end of the day? Would they reject that or not? it doesn't matter at the end of the day which transfer window you sign someone, because either way you're gonna pay over the odds for one reason or the other, in my opinion. Yeah, because I'll be pissed off if we overpay and they use that excuse as not to spend it some. But that's the biggest thing. It's gonna happen either you want it or not. Because if we don't sign anyone now, the excuse will be, oh, we are saving money for summer. But what the hell did we do last summer when we finished the summer with net profit, but because we needed pretty much the way it looked like from the outside, sell to sign situation we had going on. Yet we have now reports coming out, there are no money issues, there's no PSR issues, so what the hell are we gonna do? What the hell was the last summer then about? If we are looking at it in that light. Because if we were a serious club, we would sign now and we would sign in summer. But obviously Arsenal are not a serious club, as we all know, so that's a bit of a different story at the end of the day. But what would you do? Because it cannot be an excuse not to sign anyone in summer. But that's the biggest thing. He's Premier League. He's from rivals, technically. He's English. Prem proven. England international. Prem tax applies and all that stuff, as we all know. They bought him for what, 30, 40 million, something like that? 100% we would have to pay the premium money. 100%. I have no doubts about that. Just because the Prem and English taxes are very hard. They gonna roll very, very hard. They gonna go super massive there in that regard. We are daycare center in a way. I'm predicting it will be sign or reject. So we're gonna sign Rashford. So that's what you're saying, right? Maybe Semenyo. But I'm not convinced by Semenyo at all. I know people want him, but for me he's very hit and miss. I see Gordon as max 65 million. That is the thing. How much did they sign Gordon? How much did they sign Anthony Gordon for? I think it was 50 million, 40 million, something stupid like that. Yeah, 40 million. He went from Everton to Newcastle. 40 million pounds, something like that. If Arsenal drop about 65 million, I wouldn't be against that. 65, 70 million? Pay it. Why not? Genuinely pay it, why not? That's the thing, if we pay more than 65, it would be annoying. At the same time, looking how we have spent money, like signing players like Pepe, signing players like, who else is there stupidly expensive we have paid for? Well, Zinchenko, Jesus, Havertz at the end of the day, and players like that. Maybe I couldn't put Jesus in that category, but definitely Havertz and players like that. Calafiori, let's be real. Like, it is what it is at the end of the day. It is what it is. If you want the player, you have to pay the money. It's better than going to a Portuguese league and signing player for double the money that he's valued, because the Portuguese teams just do it that way. Because the 35 million we spent on Fabio Vieira, we could have signed Kudus. We could have signed, at the time, there was someone else for 35 million. Well, we could have signed someone else. Either a Chelsea reject spend, something like that could be. It's written in the stuff. Mikel Arteta fix-it syndrome is gonna happen, you're saying. In some positive news, Mosley Skelly is in the line for a new long-term deal. It's understood that the club are looking to secure his future to ward off interest from elsewhere, as they want to ensure the player feels rewarded for their performances and progression in the squad. So that's some positive news. So that is some positive news that Mosley Skelly is set for a new contract at some point. Whether it's going to happen now or towards the end of the season, it remains to be seen. So it ultimately remains. Yeah, so basically I think Buemo is the best value for money. Yeah, it could be the case. Buemo best value for money and output and everything. Yeah, it could be the case, definitely. Sane links. No thanks. No, but thanks. Personally, no for me. Not anymore. Jesus won man of the match yesterday, which was a surprise for me. It wouldn't be my man of the match, but good for him at the end of the day. This is the excuse. This is the biggest excuse I've seen. In Arsenal's last 12 games, they have conceded 9 goals. Look at the XGs we have had. Besides Mateta and Wan-Bissaka's goals, it has been 0.06, 0.04, 0.04, 0.09, 0.05, 0.02, 0.05. 9 goals from 0.97 XG. You're witnessing the unluckiest team in the entire history of the sport. What a load of waffle that is. I'm not gonna lie, what a load of waffle that is. Because at the end of the day, if you don't take a shot, you don't score. Let's be real. If you don't take a shot, you don't score. If you don't ask a girl out, you never know who she's gonna go out with you. That's how it rolls. These XGs are somewhat also 50-50 stats, I'm gonna admit, but it is what it is. We are not gonna get into that, how it's measured and everything, but we are witnessing the unluckiest team in the entire history of the sport. How does that make any sense whatsoever? How about someone crosses the ball, it deflects from a defender and goes into their own net? How does that work? It makes zero sense. I hate this XG stat. I genuinely hate this. Because, in a way, I don't get one big thing. Because, for example, you go one-on-one with a keeper, right? Let's just say Yaya Sanogo, we all know him, is going out 1v1 against Allison, right? What is his XG? Because technically he should not have the same XG, let's just say when Lewandowski goes one-on-one with a goalkeeper. He shouldn't. Because the XG includes only systematic metrics. It doesn't affect person, their skill level, their ability and stuff like that. It's a it's a very iffy one to say, let's put it that way. Let's just say it that way, for me at least. Sonny will probably a free agent. Could be in summer, could be. Should have been party, yeah. Bro, these clubs always look... That's because we make them look that good as well, in a way. Bro, last season I didn't know who the hell Justin is, but... yeah. Justin, the Leicester City defender. Yeah. We always play shit against mid-table teams. That's the biggest thing. That is the Arsenal's DNA. Top 6, no problem. We can get against them. We can go at them. Mid-table lower-end teams always struggle almost. 9 times out of 10, it's a hard match for us, unless we blow them away instantly. I don't know why, but Arsenal are rolling that way. Here's the one for someone who said Evan Ferguson. Arsenal are on alert to opportunity to sign Brighton's Evan Ferguson this month. Arsenal are unlikely to spend big on a striker this January. Oh, here we go. Arsenal are not going to spend big on a striker this January. Here we go. But are open on an addition on top of summer strikers such as Benjamin Šeško and Alex I don't. Look at Ipswich, played completely different versus Newcastle and Chelsea to us. Brentford also first time this season I saw them sit playing. That is the thing. Because the way we play football, our team plays, the tactics and all that crap, the easiest way to counter-attack that is mid-low block. At the end of the day, it's park the bus, 11 men behind the ball. Because we don't invite the pressure, we create the pressure. And until you can withstand the pressure, you're all golden. Because if you concede, you're kind of forced to come and attack, which opens gaps which Arsenal actually can exploit in that regard. Because then we are actually dangerous. But until it's 0-0, they can get a lucky counter, a lucky corner and everything. You park the bus, we cannot do anything. And that's how they do it. That's the best way to play against Arsenal. Obviously, some big teams like City, Liverpool, they're not going to play that way. 100%. Spurs, Ange Postecoglou and all them, man, he has his highline tactics. He's not going to play like that. Chelsea are not going to park the bus as well, pretty much. But all of the other teams, more or less, are going to park the bus or going to play such a mid-block that we cannot get through it. Because that is the easiest way to counter-attack our possession style. And unless we manage to score, you can see us struggling all the time. And since we don't have the best attackers in general, we are struggling every single game to score in general. That's the ultimate thing about this. Roy and Everton beat Newcastle. That's the thing. And Arsenal do it that way. That's because we control possession. We lose possession in the attack. We are on a back foot, and the team is track backing, and they are sending all them on a counter, and we look like lost puppies. Big up Pepper in the chat. Happy New Year. Exactly. Brighton away will be even harder for us. Brighton at home was hell on earth for us, especially when we went down to 10 men. We had 2 one-on-ones. Havertz missed one, Saka fluffed one. We should have won the game. Raya made a world-class save on Haidari, however you pronounce that guy's name, and everything. We should have won that game at the end of the day, but we didn't. And now quite a bit rides on this game. And to be honest, since then, Brighton also are hit and miss a bit, so it will be very interesting. We had 92 possession in the first half versus Ipswich. They will never do that versus Liverpool. Give space for Salah to attack. That's because the way how we play. They play different styles. Arsenal play very possession-based controlling style. And the best way to counter it is how Ipswich played it. How Newcastle does it. How Everton does it. And that's how it's gonna be. And that is the biggest issue, one of the biggest issues with Mikel Arteta. Because he doesn't adapt to that. Because he should know by now, after 5 years in charge, how they gonna play against us. Yet he still sets up the same way and hope that it's gonna go through. Basically, the way we are playing kinda relies on the fact that we're gonna score first. Because if we don't score first and they score first, they will park the bus even harder. And for Arsenal, it's gonna be even harder. So if we don't score first, we actually are gonna struggle even more. Stop this defending and drag back bullshit. We want trophies. Not exactly. That is the biggest thing. I don't care as much about clean sheets. I understand defensive wise it looks great. Goalkeeper wise it looks great. But ultimately, I don't care if I win every single game 2-0, if we could do that, or 6-2, or 6-3, or 5-2. I don't care as long as I get the 3 points on the board and we are winning something. Start pushing them attackers. Do you think a budget of 75 to 80 million is enough for January? Maybe more as well. Let's just say 75 to 80 million. It depends who we're gonna sign. Basically, the budget solely depends on the fact who are we gonna invest in, who we gonna sign. Because the 75-80 million can go a long way if we sign the proper player. At the end of the day. But if we sell a Kivior, okay, make it up to, let's just say, 110 million, right? And then we sign 3 more Kiviors, and then we sign 3 more Kiviors, it makes 0 difference whatsoever. Thanks, Nathan. Big up. It means nothing at the end of the day. That for me is the biggest issue. Thank you. That for me is the biggest issue, because 75-80 million, let's just say we sell Kivior, it's about 20 million. That's 100 million, for example, right? We sign Gordon for 65, we have 35 million left. We sign, for example, someone else, or add 10 million on top and everything, we are 45, we sign 2 players, okay, we could actually be decent. But if we let's just say have 80 million, we sell Kivior for 20-25, we have 100 million to spend, and we spend that money on 2 new Kiviors and new Fabio Vieira, it means again nothing. We have wasted money once again. It looks like we're doing something, but at the end of the day we are doing nothing. It's similar like Mikel Arteta's interviews. He's saying something, but at the end of the day he's saying nothing. Same thing. It's rejects and no one. That's the Arsenal way. Dude, I hope not. I genuinely hope not. Although if you come to think of it, quite a few players Arteta has signed have been rejects. Trossard. Not a reject, but you get what I mean. Havertz. Jesus. Zinchenko. That's 4 already. From the big players we actually rely on. So all the players we actually rely on somewhat, besides Timber and besides Raya, Timber, Raya, and Rice all have been rejects. That's wild. Rice the only one dumb enough. It genuinely feels that way. For me, Rice as well, he's like 65 million player. He's not a 155 million player as well. But they just won Conference League and everything. There's the hype, English tax, and that stuff, and we have to overpay, obviously. But ultimately, yeah, Rice the only one dumb enough just to open-heartedly come to Arsenal in a way. That's what it feels like, because most of the players we signed have a reject. Trossard exiled, pretty much reject. Jesus reject. Zinchenko reject. Who else is there in the team? Timber, okay, great signing. Raya, decent signing, in a way. Calafiori, still no idea why we signed him. Merino, third choice player even in Sociedad's midfield, so cannot even call him a reject, but cannot even call him a world beater. I'm convinced it's because Rice wanted. Could be the case. He just didn't want to move to Manchester. Most likely, he just didn't want to move to Manchester, and that's about it. He wanted to stay in London. That genuinely just could be the case. Oh, this is a great one. We sold Mika Biereth for what? 3 million this summer, right? We signed him for 3 million. We signed him for 3 million to Sturm Graz. Now Monaco need a striker and they are looking to sign him. Mika Biereth in Austrian League currently in 16 games has 11 goals and 5 assists. Not gonna lie, doing quite well. In Champions League, 6 games, 2 goals. In Austrian Cup, 3 games, 1 goal. He's actually doing very well. He's starting almost every single game. In 16 games, 16 points. He's actually doing very, very well for Sturm Graz. And apparently, now Monaco want him, right? But Arsenal sold him for 3 million. I kind of haven't seen the amount, how much they want him for. But apparently, Monaco have agreed personal terms with Mika Biereth as favorite option for striker position. 31-year-old striker wants Monaco. Talks underway between clubs with Sturm Graz to agree on fee. Former Arsenal striker has agreed to the move. Monaco are on it. So basically, Balogun went to Monaco. Let's just put it that way. Plus injured, misses quite a bit of penalties. And Monaco actually are in a desperate need for a striker because they have Balogun, they have Mbolo, and that's more or less it, isn't it? That's about it. So they need someone. So they're going to try and sign Mika Biereth, who actually is very good. He's actually doing pretty darn good as a youngster. So the biggest question is, how much they going to sell him for? Because that will just show how Arsenal are good at doing business at the end of the day. Because if Arsenal sell him for 3 million and he moves to Monaco for like about 10-15 million, that just will show everything you need to know pretty much at the end of the day. Even 10 million. Balogun is obviously out with injuries, so Arsenal technically have dodged the bullet in that one, but it is what it is, I guess. And this is the big one. Dani Olmo. Bayern Munich and PSG will rival 6 Premier League clubs to sign Dani Olmo on a free transfer. However, Barcelona have not yet given up on the hope of registering the 26-year-old. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the deadline is tomorrow. I think. Don't quote me on that one, but the deadline I think is tomorrow. So there's a possibility that Arsenal will actually go in for Dani Olmo and try and sign him. That actually would be pretty darn interesting. In other news, Nuno Mendes is a target for Arsenal, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Man City and Man United after rejecting PSG's latest contract offer, according to Graham Bailey. Now, not sure how true is that or not, but this is somewhat weird one. Arsenal are linked with another left back in Nuno Mendes. Technically, if you look at these teams, Arsenal need a left back. Bayern Munich are gonna lose Davies. Potentially they need a left back. They have Guerrero, but not enough. Liverpool need a left back because Robertson is washed. City, they have Guardiola, so they definitely need a left back. And United has no left back. So all these teams are in desperate need in a left back. So basically, this story is hoax at the end of the day. It's BS because all these teams are in desperate need for a left back, and that it feels like it's just a story just to link the player with someone, so there's just something to talk about. Because all these teams need the left back, and that's about it. Yeah, almost. No, don't give him that much. Arteta not signing Mendes. Most likely not at the end of the day. Arsenal's away Premier League record. We just talked about defense and everything, right? Arsenal's Premier League clean sheets this season. 2 clean sheets this season. 2-0 against Villa. And let's be real, that Villa game we should have lost most, potentially even 2-3-0. Because Watkins missed empty net and everything. Spurs, that was the game without Odegaard. We scored Gabriel corner, that's about it. Besides that, we cannot keep a clean sheet. And we have lost only... We've lost 1 game and drawn 2. 3 games, sorry. We have lost 1, drawn 3. Rest of them are wins. That is quite interesting in that regard. But I don't care about the clean sheets. That is what is weird. Here we go. Barcelona remain optimistic they have registered Dani Olmo and Pau Victor. The club claims that there have been delays. As always, Barcelona are very corrupt. They're trying to fix things. The thing about this is, and I read it today, here we go, if I'm not mistaken. Here we go. I'm gonna... Oh, for fuck's sake, move! Here we go. Let's do it that way. I'm very sorry for the page. I'm gonna remove it in a second. Here we go. Dani Olmo. The result is even worse for Barcelona because of January 1st. Dani Olmo is not only a free agent. To renegotiate his future, the player has to receive his full fee until 2028 from Barcelona. And Leipzig to collect the remainder of the 55 million agreed at that time. So basically, they are in big issues if this doesn't go through, if they cannot register him. They're trying to sell, trying to do everything, but it's not working for them. They have totally, royally screwed up in that regard. Let me check. I don't know if it's gonna be shown here, but let me check. Barcelona. Olmo is on 160 bags a week. 160. That is gross as well. 160,000 a week. 1,060 grand a week. So basically nothing. 160k. I just hope Marmoush links are real, or even Poach Duran, something like that, yeah. So he will want at least 240. I assume that if we sign him on a free, he actually might agree on about 200 a week, but he can ask for bigger agent fees and signing on fees, because as a free agent he has actually rights to do that. I think there is multiple ways to do this, and I think that actually is more profitable for Dani Olmo in general, in a way. Given that he's always injured though, he actually might ask for 240. But since we pay like Jesus 260, I actually wouldn't be against that. 240 for Olmo seems good enough. Olmo has options though. Exactly, that's the biggest thing. If we Arsenal want to sign him, they will need to outbid for him. And as Arteta and Edu has stated numerous times, Arsenal doesn't want to do bidding wars and they don't want to get into one. As if player doesn't want to play for Arsenal, they are not gonna go for him. So if Olmo even looks like with one eye in towards Liverpool or PSG or someone else, Arsenal will be straight out of it. That is also the case. Arsenal are hopeful of having Bukayo Saka back in training by the final week of February. Keep dreaming, dumbasses, with a view to having him available to play in March. Never gonna happen. Though the decision to undergo surgery following consultation with a specialist may extend his layoff into April. If that is the case, might as well. How did I say this? I put out this as a quote. Yeah, here you go. So if that is the case, might as well do the surgery, give him proper recovery, not play him this season at all, in January window, sign a proper winger, and then do the smart thing and for Arsenal, let him rest till next season. That would be what I would do. Because these grade 3 type of hamstring injuries in general are a bitch. Let's just put it as it is. It's genuinely a pain and it's very hard to recover from. And nearly impossible, let's be real. Michael Owen, Fernando Torres, there have been, even from grade 2, Dembele and Coman and all them, and they also struggle to recover. So it might be a rough one in that regard. Genuinely might be a rough one. So I hope Arsenal sign actually a proper player. Genuinely, in January, I hope Arsenal sign a proper attacker and for Saka position or a striker. It doesn't look like it's going to be a striker, but it will be a forward. So there are hopes. Whether it's going to come to fruition or not remains to be seen, because we are in January 2nd and there are no actually concrete links to anyone as of yet. They are just speculations that were rumbling through whole of December, part of November. So there's generally just speculation, nothing somewhat concrete as it was during summer. So I guess we have to wait and see. Because for me personally, for Arsenal to actually get a prepper properly in the team, on the books, integrated into the team with tactics and everything, we need to send him the first 10 days of January. Because after that, there will be mix of games, there will be Champions League and everything. It might not be good enough. It might not be ready enough. Obviously, we will have to pay, but if PSR issues and money issues are not a big problem, or not a problem at all, as it's being stated, right? As they state here, that money isn't an issue and there are no PSR issues. So what's the holdup then? Then just go for the player you actually want and sign him. As long as it's good enough. Unless you sign me another Kivior or another, I don't know, another Marquinhos or someone like that. They have a chance, if actually this is true, that money isn't an issue, there are no PSR issues, FFP and all that crap, and it's solely on Arteta and them, Eto, Arteta and everyone to sign someone, and they just refuse to, then it's on them and they should just resign and quit instantly. So they have a chance to rectify what they did in summer to some extent, and to kind of start someone proper signings for also, which they can build upon also in next summer. So let's see what they do in January, I guess. Exactly, I want to see at least 80 million spent in this window. This is not demanding much, and given the fact that what we usually spend in January transfer windows, which is, I would say, nothing special, especially given the players we have signed, because the biggest player in the recent years we have signed actually is Aubameyang, and that was what, 8 years ago? It's not good enough. Genuinely not good enough. We need replacements for lots of players. We need forwards, we need midfielders, we actually need defenders as well. Overall, Arsenal need to sign about 7 or 8 players. We can sign, let's just say, 2-3 now, and then next summer we can sell some and sign 3-4 more, and that should cover the basis, and then we can see what is what. But I don't have any trust in the board that they're gonna sign 2-3 players right now. Maybe one, maybe alone, maybe. It's a big question mark, and no idea what to expect. I just hope that they're gonna act quick for a change, and it's not gonna be like a 2-month type of deal like it was with Calafiori, month and a half with Merino and everything. As long as they don't drag it too long until the timer runs out, or the other team gets bored of it, and they just say, no, screw you, we are not gonna sell, it should be good. But knowing Arsenal, yeah, it could be a very long, very, very long and frustrating wait, I guess. But let's wait and see. But yeah, winger plus midfielder, and I heard we'll buy a goal. We need a goalkeeper, because the only one we have is Neto, who's cup-tied, who is on loan, by the way. That was a smart move. We have only Raya. And we signed Neto to play in Cups. He hasn't played in any of the Cups. He hasn't played in Premier League. And in the Cups, he should be able to play. It's Carabao Cup. We have played Setford and was this Peter Carter or whatever the name was. Perkins or whatever this name was. So I guess time only will tell, because Hein is out on loan. It doesn't look like Hein is going to be the second goalkeeper, given that he plays for Valladolid right now. So again, more questions than answers in general, I guess. But yeah, I think on that note, I'm gonna end today's stream. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you much for joining the first stream of 2025. If you already haven't, like the thing, share it around, subscribe, all that good stuff. Big things are coming slowly but steadily. Hope you enjoyed your stay. Have a great year. See you all tomorrow. And yeah, enjoy this evening and, well,